Howdy all, welcome to part 2 of Mega Man 2 and I'm going to take on Heatman. Oh god, I hate Heatman stage, I can't stand it. As for why I don't like Heatman stage, well, you're going to find out in a minute. But needless to say, this is not the stage I would tackle first if you were playing this game. Not unless you're really good at, well, a section that you'll be seeing in a minute. The beginning of the stage isn't too bad. You have these robots that appear out of nowhere and like to try and run into you and basically just be annoying douchebags. But if you have the metal blade, then they go down really, really quickly. They won't be an issue at all. Obviously, don't fall into the lava. Instant kill, don't you know? I think. I've never fallen into the lava. I don't know anyone that has. These little enemies here can be beaten with the wood shield. So I'm going to do that. I mean, it's not necessary to beat them, but, well, why not? They're in my way. And yes, I'm going to be using, like, the metal blade a lot through this, just because it's easier. Anyway, this is the gimmick of Heatman stage. Blocks that reappear and disappear, and they always appear and disappear in a particular pattern, so you've really got to pay attention. This room's not too bad. This room you can figure out pretty easily. It's, you know, later in the stage where they start getting a wee bit frustrating. Now, one of the things I like about Mega Man 2 is that you can utilise other weapons if you want to. It's not compulsory because there's always like a way around it if you don't have the weapon. But I just love the fact that, you know, sometimes you get a Mega Man game where you have weapons, but you can't really get much use out of them for anything other than beating the robot that's weak to that weapon. But in this game, there's like loads and loads of opportunities to use your weapons in other different ways. And I think that really helps the game. And, you know, its replayability value. This is the douchebaggy part. I highly recommend having item 2 because then you can just skip all this nonsense. Otherwise, you're going to have to try and figure out the pattern to those and get across. I suppose it's probably not as bad as I'm making it out to be, but then again, I've never really attempted it. And I hate these mechs. Die. I love the air shooter, it just takes them out in one hit. I don't even care. Heatman is not a hard boss. He is weak to the bubble lead. Well, duh. Fire Robot Master is weak to water type attacks. God, that sounds like a Pokemon reference. But yeah, bring the bubble lead here. And Heatman, like I say, he's not a tough robot master. He's got a fairly predictable pattern. But of course, I'm going to make it look like he's a lot harder than what he actually is. He likes to dash to where you are, and yeah, it's relatively easy to dodge when he dashes to where you are. It's just because I suck that I made it look harder than what it actually was. I do apologise. So, moving on. We now get the atomic fire, which I will probably never use, bar from like one time when I go up against Woodman in the boss rush. And that won't be until like part 3. Upon defeating Heatman, we also managed to get item 1, which is sort of like a platform that raises us up. It's pretty useful. So, yeah. That's another item we have that we can use. Yay. So, now I've only got 2 Robot Masters left, and I'm going after Flashman next. So Flashman's level is relatively straightforward. It's probably one of the easier levels if you ask me. There are slippery ice physics, but it's nothing really that gets in the way tremendously. I mean, it's not like there's any bottomless pits to speak of in this stage, so it's not really going to matter too much about having this, you know, slippery ice. These robots can be a pain in the rear end though. I don't like them. There are plenty of points where you can use Crash Bomber to take shortcuts. And I figured, why the hell not? It's not like I need Crash Bomber for anything. At least not in this level. Anyway, there's a free life up there, so I'm going to use this as a good opportunity to show off item 1. Get up there. But yeah, it's basically just a platform that raises upwards. Maybe should get up to higher areas. Now, up there is just like crash wall, you know, walls where you need to use Crash Bomber and stuff, and there's really no need to go up there. So I'm just going to be quite happy to go this way. Oh god, mech. Yeah, shoot the fucker. I don't know why I actually bothered just to run into him, because there's really no point. I just wasted health. But yeah, there's like loads of different routes through this level. If you come down this way, you can probably, if you succeed, get the opportunity to grab a free life. And yeah, well, not a free life, health. Unfortunately, I don't think I make the jump, if I remember rightly. No, I don't. I don't know, maybe you need item 2, I don't know. But it would have been nice to have avoided those 2 things. Anyway, we're nearly done with this stage already. It's, like I say, this is not a hard stage. It's probably a good one to start with if you're really not sure. Because Flashman's also a relatively easy Robot Master. I could do the platform in here, but I really don't want to risk fucking up. So I'm going to be a lazy cheapskate and use item 2. Why not? I have the item. And obviously, this also enables me to ignore Mr. Mechman down there. Because I can use Crash Bomber to take a shortcut. And that fucker can't reach me no matter how hard he tries. Flashman is weak to the Metal Blade, so that's why I have it out. God. The Robot Masters hate the Metal Blade. So just keep shooting and that's it. He'll just run back and forth and occasionally he'll stop time. There's nothing to him. Literally, he is a good choice for first Robot Master if you're really not sure on who to start with. In fact, yeah, I would probably say Flashman is probably the better one to start with. Bubbleman's also a good one to start with, but Bubble Lead is only really weak against Heatman, and Heatman's stage is bullshit, so yeah. I'd say Flashman's a good one to start with, Metal Man, you know. Probably ideally any of them could probably make an ideal first pick, but then again I'd be somewhat inclined to disagree with that, because I mean, until you get some of them have patterns that you need to kind of get down. That's kind of tricky to deal with. Like Woodman, you've got to time jumping over that shield really good, otherwise you'll end up dying. Anyway, we got item 3 as well, which is basically not that much different from item 1, but it needs to cling to walls, so yeah. Final Robot Master I'm taking on is Quickman. I always leave Quickman to last because I hate Quickman's stage because I'm a sucky gamer. So here's item 3 in action. It clings to the walls. There's nothing really else to it. It's just another means of enabling you to get up to higher platforms that you can't normally reach. Quickman's stage has rather an annoying gimmick. That makes it one of the hardest levels to me. Those lasers are instant kill. So you've really, really got to keep on the move here. That was close. But if you can make it down here, you can get an E-tank and an extra life, and yeah. But you know, if you go the other way, it's not really going to matter too much. I can get past the first section of the stage just fine, without any help. I mean, it's pretty easy to get past the first section of the stage. It's the second section that always gets me. You've got to be so quick. Which, you know, unsurprising, it's Quickman's stage. So Flashman is Quickman's weakness, but I'm not going to be using it against Quickman. I'm going to be using it to make this a lot more comfortable because I suck. Because you can actually use it here as well. And if I hadn't used it, then I would have been toast. No two ways about it. And I don't know why I went to pick up that energy, because basically it's just going to go down quickly and I'm, you know, not going to get anywhere fast. But yeah, this is definitely one of the hardest sections of the stage to me. It requires a lot of memorization in order to get through it quickly. And I got quite lucky, I got through it first time. Yes, I've run out of time stopper, so I can't use it against Quickman. But I really don't care. I would rather use it on that section, because Quickman's got another weakness that I can utilise. Okay, so I had to pause then. There's quite a lot of these pricks right before you get to take on Quickman, but if you can get them on like a higher ledge there, they'll never hit you. Remember, Air Shooter does a fantastic job of taking care of the mechs in like one shot, maybe two. So anyway, we're taking on Quickman. Like I say, Time Stopper's his weakness. It takes out half his health. But I don't have any more Time Stoppers, so I'm going to be using what I consider to be the secondary weakness for Quickman, which is the Crash Bomber. So, it's a little bit awkward to hit with the Crash Bomber, but it can be done if you time it just right. And, you know, I've got E-tanks if necessary. Quickman's probably the only one I could foresee me needing to use an E-tank against, but I got lucky this run. So yeah, if you've run out of Time Stopper, then perhaps consider giving Crash Bomber a go. You only have so many shots of Crash Bomber, but it works well enough. So now we get the quick boomerang. And Mega Man once again goes a manly pink. Yeah, because men can wear pink too, you know. Sod these fucking gender stereotypes that, you know, say you can't. Duh, if you wear pink, that means you're gay. No, it doesn't. Okay. So, now we get to go to the Wyly Fortress. Now that we've beaten all 8 Robot Masters, finally. We can take this bastard on. Yay! Bring it on. And, well, now you're hearing, well, you're hearing me talking. The music for this stage is absolutely incredible. It's one of the most popular NES soundtrack pieces ever. I've lost count of how many remixes this thing has. Fantastic track. So yeah, this is the Wyly Fortress, at least the first level. It's not too bad. When you get to the Wyly Fortress though, you will be expected to use every weapon that you have. Every weapon, every item you have, you're going to need to put all of them to use. Also, this is very much essentially the Wyly Fortresses are essentially gauntlets, so You need to keep your eye on your weapon energy count, because that's got to last you throughout, what, 5, 6 stages? Well, technically, if you want to get technical, it's like 4 stages, a boss rush, and 2 final bosses. So, yeah. I'm not going after that extra life because it will just waste more item 3, and then I'll have to grind for some more, and I can't be fucked. There is a little trick with these guys. If you can just get the positioning on the ladder just right, they'll never hit you. And I picked that fucking weapon energy up, and I should have used it to refill item 3. Duh. That was a dirt moment. Take advantage of weapon energy when you see it, that's all I'm gonna say. Okay, so there. That guy dropped weapon energy, so I'm going to actually use it this time to refill item 3. And up we go. Dodge you. Now we're going to need item 1. I wouldn't climb to the top of the ladder to use item 1, because otherwise it's just going to make it a little bit trickier to get to the other ladder. So I would just activate it as soon as you reach this screen. And then it just makes things a little bit more bearable when it comes to getting up to this ladder here. I always seem to struggle if I climb all the way to the top of the ladder and then summon item 1, because it raises slightly all the time. So it kind of doesn't give you a lot of room. So now we're approaching the boss already. Yeah, these levels aren't very long, thankfully. So, we need the quick boomerang. Mega Man's fighting the power. Sod gender stereotypes. You show him, Mega Man. So, you want to keep moving here because there's a great big fucking dragon behind you, and then it has the power of sprite flickering. I always get sprite flicker on this stage. So basically, he's weak to quick boomerang. You want to be careful because he can knock you off with his fire, which is why I always tend to go up to the top platform, because then the knockback sends me onto the platform behind, and then I don't fall to my death. But he's rather an easy enemy to defeat, I suppose. Usually tanks if you have to, but generally I find that he's not too bad. So, time for Wily 2. And once again it plays Wily 1's theme. I like the fact that there's some weapon energy literally right there. I am going to need item 1 and 3 later on in the fortress, so that is why I am going to continue to refill. And I really hate these enemies because they constantly respawn, like literally seconds after you've bloody got rid of them. I'm also going to need item 1, so that's why I'm... yeah. So that's them fully refilled. Get rid of you. And then we need item 2. Because there's no other thing that's going to get us across this massive spike pit. Ignore the first ladder you see and go up the second one, because there is an E-tank. And there is an extra life and tons of little small weapon energy pickups, which is a good opportunity to refill item 2. Okay, so we nearly filled that up completely, see? Why would you take the other route? You have to face enemies. Whereas that route is much quicker and gets you lots of goodies. So, we're at the checkpoint. I always find myself using the leaf shield here because these fucking drills from, you know, the ones from Metal Man stage make a reappearance, and they actually just, the leaf shield destroys them in one hit, so it's really, really useful. So we also have these chandeliers. Also from Metal Man stage. Need item 3 to get up here. You can use Time Stopper to stop these chandeliers from falling, and I am going to do that in a sec. I mean, some people may claim that that's a waste, but in all honesty, I'm not too concerned. Because those two are quite close together, so I don't... You have to get in just the right place in the middle of those two. And I can't be fucked to do that. So, we're nearly at the boss already. Over there is a health pickup, and I think I'm going to grab it because there's no harm in grabbing it. Okay. So, this boss I always use Metal Blade against. I don't know if that's its actual weakness. But I find it's the most effective thing to use. Basically, bits of the floor and walls and whatever come out and join together and attack you. And because the Metal Blade can shoot in 8 different directions, it's really handy to take them out really quick. And this boss looks really simple, but you want to try and make sure that you don't get hit by it, because if you do, it hurts. It hurts really bad. Though I might be just talking about difficult mode there, but still. On the whole, it's not a bad boss. It's not too hard. You should get through it without too much difficulty. So now we're going to be moving on to Wyly 3. Oh boy. Let the fun begin.